What is charisma? Can you develop charisma? Charisma is a skill you can learn, just like any other skill. And in this video, I will break that process of becoming charismatic down into an actionable step-by-step guide. Put this video on full screen and give me your full attention. And I promise, if you do that, you will have all the knowledge necessary to actually become charismatic. The competition of people actually working on their charisma is low, very low. Most people never really think about improving this part of their personality. This means you are already a step ahead of most people, just by clicking on this video. This is why it actually should be easy for you to stand out among others. No matter what your situation in life is and your goals, one of the most important tools for success is your personal charisma. But before being able to improve your charisma, you first truly must understand what charisma is. Charisma can be broken down to three main elements: presence, power, and warmth. Presence is the core of charisma, and everything else is built on this single component. You probably know this moment when you are in a conversation and think about completely different things than the topic you talk about with the other person. You are not present anymore. Now, you would think that the other person will not see that you're completely somewhere else with your thoughts, but the other person will unconsciously get the feeling that something is not quite right. So here's your actionable step. The next time you feel like you are not present anymore, immediately focus on the sounds around you, your breathing or your feet touching the ground to come back into the present moment. Power also can be projected by your body language and social status. I can't emphasize how simple it actually can be. To project more power, don't be afraid to take up more space. Since you don't want to hear the same advice over and over, I will keep it short. Here is a list of fundamental body language. You can't fake warmth. It's showing sincere interest in the other person. You can't force this. You must get your internal state right, and your body language will follow automatically. Now you probably ask yourself how to get that right internal state. You can do that with a technique called rewriting reality so that it's favorable to yourself. It is to change your belief about what just happened. Let's say you had a really tough week, had to work really much, and couldn't rest at all. But instead of complaining and becoming angry at that, you focus on the positive aspects of the situation and how it benefited you. You cannot change reality, but you can change how to interpret it. This concept works because, at a subconscious level, your mind does not know what is true and what is false. It accepts whatever you tell it. Now, let's move on with the method. These are things you could implement straight away in your next conversation with someone. Some of the tips will be simple, but you can't imagine how effective they actually are until you actually try them out. Smile. Did you ever hear of the soften technique? No. It's a great way to make others feel better around you. It is a set of non-verbal cues that indicate to the other person that you are actually listening to them. Soften stands for smile, open posture, forward lean, take notes, eye contact, nod. Try to consciously focus on these behaviors to slowly make them habitual, so that you do them without even thinking about it. Call people by their name. A person's name is the sweetest sound they can hear. Listen more than you speak. The best way to become interesting is to become interested. Ask the right questions. Yeah, there is not really a right and a wrong way to ask questions, but there is a more effective way to get the same result by changing the question just a tiny bit. Instead of asking closed questions, you must ask open questions. A closed question would be, did you enjoy the movie? The open-ended question would be, what did you think of the movie? You see, an open-ended question can't just be answered with a yes and gives the other person the opportunity to really talk about their thoughts and feelings. Express your feelings spontaneously and genuinely. This will allow you to affect the mood and emotions of others and therefore build a stronger connection with others. Do you know what separates an unsuccessful from a successful politician? It is the language they use to connect to people. And the same can be applied in your own life. People don't have strong associations with abstract words. I feel your pain has association, but I can relate to your viewpoint doesn't. Or, I understand your frustration, and I empathize with your struggle. They have the same meaning, but a completely different impression, right? Mirroring is another easy but really effective way to increase your charisma. Psychologists have found that when two people are getting along, they start to mirror each other's bodies as a sign of trust and safety. Another Another study showed that 10 out of 15 negotiations in which people mimicked their opponent ended in deals, while only 2 out of 16 of the negotiations without mimicking were able to close deals.